Try to recap things from my viewpoint. So this is our first year for this board. Your newly elected Board of Trustees is midway through our first year in office. 2 new trustees on board. We're still doing our best to govern our township in the manner you've mandated. This annual report will serve to present the state of the township based on a combination of facts, observations, and educated opinions. My mission in my 5th year as your supervisor, the mission you re-elected me to execute remains unchanged, to preserve Grosse Ile Township as one of our country's most desirable residential communities. I can only measure that desirability through the value of our properties. Do people want to live here? The exodus of population from Michigan seems to have abated, but we must continue to convince current and future residents that Grosse Ile is clearly their best choice among places to live, work, and play in order to fill the empty homes, classrooms, and shops throughout our township. I'm convinced that a majority of you share in the pursuit of this objective, attracting and retaining the families that will call Grosse Ile their home and therefore make Grosse Ile properties more desirable. To that end, with the support of your Board of Trustees, I will continue to seek and implement every means to stabilize and increase our property values by continually identifying and improving those quality of life services and assets that distinguish us from other communities. We all have a stake in this, so I will constantly seek your inputs and advice. Looking back over the past year, thanks to the effort of both township residents and government, we maintained the quality of life on our island despite a very limited budget. Partial list of notable events. We said goodbye to 2 dedicated trustees and a long-serving clerk, all of whom worked diligently for your benefit. We also welcomed 3 highly qualified, experienced individuals to fill the positions, help steer our township. Our Airport Commerce Park manager accepted an offer as manager in a nearby city. We replaced it with an equally dedicated, talented individual who learns very quickly, is doing a commendable job. In last fall's election, you told us that public safety remains a service you're willing to support with your tax dollars. So our police department remains fully funded and our current budget will not reach into reserves. You told us that we had secured enough open space, at least for the time being. You would rather save your dollars for other purposes. You also approved a road millage, so our Public Services Commission, among the busiest volunteers on the island, can now repair the most critical deficiencies in a timely manner. Ongoing repair of our roadways is and will continue to be a priority of this township. Finally, as I'm sure you're aware, we tragically lost a Treasury Township employee, resident, and friend in a water main repair accident. Mr. James Farrow remains in our thoughts and prayers, and be assured we are taking every measure necessary to ensure this never happens again. At the moment, one of my primary responsibilities as supervisor is developing our annual budget. Like most communities, we've suffered from declining revenues, but we have hopefully reversed the losses. However, even with the millages you have approved, we still remain approximately 5% below our peak revenues of 2009, with expenses increasing significantly. Yet, while other communities are facing far more serious financial crises and even takeovers by the state, Grosse Ile Township remains in reasonably sound condition. The dedication and hard work of your township staff and Board of Trustees, all committed to reducing expenses and keeping taxes as low as possible, have prevented any dramatic changes to our township's operation. All departments have worked in concert to reduce current and future costs, found ways to share assets, and overall continue to prove to the state, and more importantly to you, that we are responsible custodians of the public's resources. Getting back to basics, revenues determine what services your government can provide, and I cannot emphasize enough that for a residential community such as Grosse Ile, property value equals revenue. In order to secure reliable revenues, we must be proactive in attracting and retaining residents. We can do this by providing and promoting those amenities that distinguish us from other competing locations. Aside from our excellent schools and unequaled public safety and other amenity, we offer almost unlimited recreational opportunities, the heart of which is our Water's Edge Recreation Complex, one of the island's most treasured assets. We secured a grant to improve access to that complex, and thanks to Recreation Department staff and a very dedicated group of volunteers, golf, boating, and swimming will be available later this spring. Additionally, we are seeking additional funding for a multi-use ice rink, which promises inline skating this summer, ice skating next winter. Your Recreation Commission is also researching the possibility of a kayak launch at the marina, an increasingly popular form of recreation. Across the island from Water's Edge, an Eagle Scout project, aided by dozens of volunteer workers, has provided the township with its first public beach, with continued improvements planned at the site. Our island is also in the heart of the Detroit River International Wildlife Refuge, with the potential to draw visitors from around North America. With the apparent rebound in the auto industry, Michigan's population has stabilized, and hopefully new residents will find that the unique attributes our community offers make Grosse Ile the premier place to live, as my family did years ago. So looking forward, while our future has boundless opportunities, we also face challenges. A major threat looming over our township is an administrative consent order imposed upon us by the Department of Environmental Quality, which could have devastating financial consequences. We will continue to explore every responsible means to comply with the ever-increasing requirements of clean water, but we will not be coerced into limitless spending toward an undefined and therefore unattainable mandate. You, my fellow residents, have demonstrated an exceptional commitment to the environment through your funding of continuous improvements to our wastewater treatment system. We will find ways to mitigate this unwarranted threat to our resources. Another challenge will be the evaluation and enforcement of our blight ordinances. Long ignored, we'll begin by reminding all residents that a tidy community will attract other like-minded residents, preserving the value of all our homes and neighborhoods. I'm convinced that an education program will correct most of our problems involving unsightly properties. Fortunately, we also have some exciting opportunities. We should be expanding our very popular bike path system with an additional stretch along Horse Mill Road. We are completing a self-evaluation for a new state-sponsored program titled Promoting Active Communities. With all we have to offer, recreation, natural beauty, the surrounding river, certainly we can promote Grosse Ile as a wonderful home for an active lifestyle. Additionally, your public safety will remain intact, as both our police and fire department personnel have accepted cost-sharing responsibilities while operating under ever-tightening fiscal constraints. Please do not pass up any opportunity to thank these professionals for their dedication and contributions. I'm proud to state that we are and will remain one of America's safest communities, another opportunity to attract families to Grosse Ile. While still somewhat tenuous, we are seeing indications of continued economic recovery in Michigan and the promise of a brighter future statewide. Working with the board and township staff, I will reaffirm my commitment to you. Your township government will spend your tax dollars openly and wisely. We will make government transparent and responsive, and we will collaborate with other units of government when appropriate to both reduce costs and to benefit from economies of scale. I will also need your commitment. Seize every opportunity to promote Grosse Ile to the families you would like to have as neighbors. Help us fix or improve any shortcomings you're aware of. If you know of another community performing a service or function in an exceptional manner, let us know. Let me know. I haven't forgotten that I work for you, and I truly appreciate any and all assistance in my quest to preserve and improve the best place I've ever called home. Let me close by stating I remain optimistic about our future, and I ran for re-election in order to help guide Grosse Ile toward a better tomorrow. Lest I repeat myself, we need to retain and attract residents in order to preserve and improve Grosse Ile. So let's commit to making this the community we want our friends to discover, the community we are proud to call home, and the community we want to leave for our children. Thank you for your confidence and support, and please remember, I never get tired of saying this, if you're lucky enough to live on Grosse Ile, you're lucky enough.